Hello everyone, this is Diane. I am still working on destashing. I've done pretty much all areas, but I still have some areas that I haven't touched yet, and my ledger pages is one of the areas. So today I am sorting through ledger pages and the vintage ones, and I'm going to be pulling some out to do some destash. But I thought maybe this could be, you might be interested in seeing the kinds of ledger that I have accumulated over the years. So I don't know if you'd be interested or not, but I'm going to sort them, so I turned on the camera. First of all, I've already sorted them into groupings. Now I have to decide how much I'm going to keep. And in this top pile are things that are removed from my ledger stash because they're not really ledger. So I thought you might be interested in them. This is just some pages from an old address book. I'll keep those. And return and delay report of train employees from the Erie Railroad Company. I'll just put them somewhere else, but I will keep them. I just have this one page and I have no idea where I got it, but I like it. And I think I'll just use this as a page in a journal. It's Personalized Kitchen Planning Service from Hot Point. I think that would be a fun page in a journal. Okay, so now this pile here are unique ledgers. They're not just plain ledgers. They're printed for specific use. And these are for some antique school ledgers. There's some cuts in it. So it wasn't great condition. I think someone used a knife to cut out names, and it went through several layers. But there's still some information remaining in here. Superintendent's Condensed Record, Philadelphia, the American Sunday School Union, 1862. So here we have attendance for residents and officers. It says attendance of officers. And this is attendance of teachers and scholars. So that's what the rest of it is, attendance of teachers and scholars. And then after that, it has minutes for each Sunday. 1889. And I had gotten several of these books, so I will destash some of these pages. Look at that. The months are written up there, and the ink has faded to brown, and there are just little hash marks to show their attendance. I think if I keep this many, I can let this much go. And I'll just divide this up between however many. 1, 2, 3, 4. This has 4 like signatures there, so maybe I'll do 4 bundles. Here's another little piece. If I decide to do 5 bundles, I'll just take another section, another signature. I had gotten 2 of these books. They were in really, really rough condition. You can see it's water stained here. And I sold one book complete because someone asked for it. And they are a dairy delivery person's logbook. And I love them because they're red and green. And it says milk, cream, chocolate milk, special milk, and then the charge, credit, and balance for each customer. So each customer has their own page. It just has the name at the top and the order for the day. So these pages are used. It's from 1948, just from January to August. So those are all written on, and these are plain. So I'm going to keep these separate. I'm separating the used pages from the plain pages. Got some more used ones right here. And I did have smaller ledgers like this in the one drawer, in the skinny drawer, and then the larger ledger pages in the big drawer, but I don't know if I want to keep them all contained in one drawer. I'll have to combine them, but it just makes it harder for me to find what I want, and then I'm less likely to get in there and get stuff. This is not quite so old ledger book. It just has that written on it, so I'm just putting that in the unwritten stack. And this has writing on the front half, but it's blank on the second, and I just kept them as a signature because it's small enough that I could put it in some books. So I don't want to put it with the blank or the written on. I think I just want to use this as a page in a journal, and you'll get some of each in a journal. So I guess I'm going to keep it with the blank. This one is a teacher's ledger book. The Teacher's True Record, Register, Reveal, Report, right from the start. And there's the page. And I'm not sure if someone cut pages off or if they came this way. Because you have two like that, and then a full page, and then two like that. So I think it came that way, and it's unwritten in. I just think they're really neat, so I want to make sure I start using that. These are, I guess it's a ledger, but it's a guest register for a hotel or something. The name, the address, their license plate, and their room number, the time checked in, the number of guests, and checkout. And I have quite a few pages of that left. And I like that it's horizontal. So I'm keeping the horizontal separate from the vertical. And I think I'll just keep this with the ledger instead of putting it somewhere else, because it is ledger. These are, it's a science observation, like an experiment book. So it's not ledger. So I'm going to put that somewhere else. I don't know where, but... And this is the American Radio Relay League. I wonder if that came out of... I bet that came out of one of these books. This is a log of amateur radio stations. And this one is written in. I had these in 2 sizes, but I think I've used the small ones. So this one, is it all written in? Yeah, it's all written in. So that will go with the written stuff. And I've sold pages out of these, so I don't know if I'll get rid of any more. These are blank. Yep, these are all blank. There's a... Yeah, that's what it came out of. And then there's this orange graph paper, like that green one that I just showed you. I wonder if that came out of the other one. But I'll keep this with my ledgers, and the other one will go with the written on ledgers. This is a portion of a larger page that was a church record book for tithing and things like that. Broome County Technical Institute Laboratory Report. So this is another lab, a science report. It's got a diagram and some notes. So it doesn't belong with my ledgers. I put all the scientific stuff in there, but it's just, I have too much stuff in that drawer. So should I keep this with ledgers? Yeah, I think so. But these not. Okay, here's the tall pages. This came in a book with the church records. It has the person's name and then has 12 months to record and five Sundays just in case there were weeks with 5 Sundays, and recorded the amount of the offering or tithe that was given to the church, maybe for tax records. And it has the alphabet tabs, and I'm not going to get rid of any of this one. And it's all written on, so I guess I'll put it with the written on ledger. Okay, so we have all of these that are not written on. And this, not sure where to put this. Maybe I'll keep this in a separate place, not with the ledgers. I kind of want to keep this separate too, because I really love it, and I know I have it, and I might want to look for this. So for now, I'm going to set it aside. That's the milk, the dairy one. Okay, so let me clear off some space here. Moving the, oh, not that. I put them in the pile of stuff that I'm gonna put in bundles. I wonder if I want to get rid of any of these lined pages. Not at this point. Okay. Moving on, these are the smaller, oh no, these are the horizontal ledgers that I have. It's a nice long one. It's got 2 pages there. I remember getting a box of these bill heads at the flea market. I think I sold some of the tablets as they were, but I know I have sold these in some of the bundles that I put together. I'm not going to sell any more of them. I don't know how old they are. Maybe from the 60s, maybe even 70s, but I know I was thrilled when I found this box at the flea market for very little money. So I'm keeping those. I love this one because when I find the ones that have the pink and the purple and the blue, I just love them. There it goes. And it's already folded. Maybe I'll keep these folded ones aside so they're all ready to go in a journal. Apparently I was prepping them for a journal and didn't use them. There's other ones too that I've come across. I found 2 of these at an antique store, a local antique store. And it looks like I paid $4 for each one. But there's a lot of paper on these. Lot. And they're from the 1930s. And it was a personalized pad. It says Helen P. Fanning, Doctor, Register of Wills, Recorder of Deeds, and Clerk of the Orphans Court. Return this bill with stamp when receipt is required. Costs due this office are payable when papers are filed. So this was a bill that Helen Fanning, that Helen Fanning would send out, apparently. And I'm going to keep that. This is a yellow horizontal ledger. I don't know how old it is. I believe it's vintage. It was in a peg. I don't know if I got it in the peg thing or if I bought the pages without the cover. I don't remember. But there's not that many yellow pages in there, so I'm keeping them. I'm keeping these. I believe these came from, it was a large ledger that was used for keeping records at a cemetery. And it was financial records, paying bills, or paying the groundskeepers, I think is what it was. So it had nothing to do with, you know, who's buried where or anything. And I got it really cheap. I was shocked. And I want to keep that because I love this paper. This one has a tab. I don't know if I have any more of those. I don't have a lot of horizontals, so I'll probably end up keeping all of these. That's a larger one. This is a folded one. These are smaller. That's why I set them aside. I'll put them on top of the pile. This is a fragile one. I have used pages out of this. It's in a like a tablet with a little paper cover. Yeah, here it is. I've used some of these, but they are quite fragile, so I reinforce them when I fold them. So these would probably be better used as, you know, backgrounds and for gluing to things. Maybe I'll, not because they're fragile, but because I have quite a few of these, I will take 5 pages and put them in the de-stash bundle. That's already folded, so I'll put that up there. And let me see about these. Maybe I suppose I could spare 5 pages of each of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See, my hope is I'm organizing this stuff again, and then maybe I'll use it more. And I don't have a lot of yellow, so I'm not going to take that. I'll take some more of these, though. Okay, so if I do 5 bundles, then each bundle will get 2 of those, and I'll take some of these, because there are a lot of these. I'm just stingy with my ledger, my vintage ledger. I'll take 10 of those. I really do need to de-stash. I don't need this much ledger. I just love it. Don't want to give it up. But I am trying to make room. Okay, there's those. And then this white. This doesn't seem very old. I don't know. Maybe I bought this from Amazon. So I don't think that's vintage ledger. But I'm keeping it in the ledger stuff. This one has a tab and it's folded. I don't have much of this. Not sure where it came from. There are 2 pages, so keeping them. This is one of those fragile ones. A couple pages there. And these green ones are, I only have 3 of those. This is a nice page. I believe it is vintage, but it's not as thin and fragile. So that's a nice ledger. Oh, I apologize. Oh, here's some more with the tabs. Okay. So these are all in the keep pile. Well, I was going to tell you when I showed you this diagram, there's a little bit of a space between these 2 units. These are 2 separate units. And so here, and then there's a little space between this and the wall on both sides. So in those 3 spots, I stash things that are too big for the drawers. And I have to go through, pull all that stuff out and organize it too. And I do take stuff out of there to use, but sometimes I forget what's in there. So that's what I do with things that are too big to go in the drawers. Now, this is the stack of written on stuff. So I do have the Dairyman's pages that are written on. Do I have more of those? I don't think so. So I'll take a few of these. Because these are good for collage and background and stuff. They're just fun. Oh, that's the back cover. put in some of the unwritten ones. And some of these are already torn up because I've taken pieces of them to use in collage. That one's not written on. And that one's not written on. It's kind of shiny. Some of those old papers have a little bit of a sheen on them. This is the only page that, well, these two, the only ones that were written on. Tunkhannock, Pennsylvania, RD6, Mrs. A. something Kelly. The International Christian Workers' Testament. It's got some names and addresses and amounts of money. I think it's paying out people. Boys and Girls Speaker, $1. They paid their speaker $1. Somebody came and talked about the sinking of the Titanic and got paid $1. War Songs and Poems, $1.50. Interesting. This is a farm ledger. It was someone... this is logs. I was thinking it was eggs, but I think I had a different one for eggs. Somebody's eggs ledger. But it's brittle paper and written in pencil, so I don't use it much. This is 1912. But I have used it. I don't like that some of it is crossed off. If it wasn't crossed off, I would probably use it more. See, all of these are crossed off. 1911. Ash logs. Oak logs. Hickory logs. All crossed off. You guys want the crossed off ones? And these torn pages I'm keeping separate so they're handy for collage. These are written on, but not, oh, now they're crossed off again. Now this side isn't crossed off, so I could just glue parts of that down. And I love this book. You'll see more of this in bits and pieces. This is the ledger I've talked about before. It was used as a ledger way back in the 1800s, and then once it was done being used, then someone was cutting out newspaper clippings and gluing them over the ledger. And so I got it for a good price at the flea market. And there were a few pages that weren't glued on, and there were some pages that the newspaper clippings came right off. So I was able to save some of that, and I like using that. Here's another penciled ledger, and this has grocery supplies and prices for them. I don't see a date. This is a smaller one again. So I'll pass on some of these. I like that it's grocery. And I don't have a lot of it. I think I'll pass some of it on, but I don't know. I might decide to keep it, but I'll set some aside just in case. All right, these are written on with black ink, 1952. with a scrawling kind of handwriting, which is kind of cool. I think that would look good in collage. One, two, three, four, five. This is going to be a long video if I take so much time. These are going to go with the torn pieces. This is another science book page. So that can go somewhere else. I love these old ledgers. Now, this one, I think I got in a Happy Mail because it looks like it's German. 1917. I'll definitely keep that. Love the writing. This is also German, but 1931. This is pages from the Sunday school books. Those are up there. All right, this is school paper. It says personal pronouns that are circled. I don't know why they're circled in red. It's a teacher's correction. So this one is, I think it's from a science book. So this is a written essay, but these are the equations and diagrams for the science book. Another science book. Look at the little drawings. Here's from that ledger that was used as a scrapbook. Beauteous Little Mary. 1824. I love the paper, the way it feels. I love the look of the ink on it. This isn't ledger. It was probably in that scrapbook. Some more of this old scrapbook ledger. This is partly written on. Oh, this was a gun. Somebody used this to keep track of gun sales and, whoops, the serial number and stuff like that. And there's some blank pages. Let's see where we are time-wise. Oh my goodness, I took too much time. Well, let me just show you quickly what's here. I've got the gun ledger and some more written on stuff. Now, these are really big ledgers that I bought toward the end of the year, toward the end of the season last year. This is an insurance company ledger, Holyoke Mutual Fire. And these are not written on, but these are the biggest. These fit in my drawer. And this one does not quite. It would be like that if I put it in the drawer. So I'm going to, after I clean out those side things, I'm going to stick that in there. So I will destash some of these pages, but they will have to be folded. So that was all the written on stuff, and then these are the unwritten on, but also these are unwritten on. These are tiny ones for a train worker to keep track of his hours. Just little ledger books. I'll destash quite a bit of these. Probably won't destash any of the pink and purple and blue, because I don't find them very often, and I love them. And these are all pink and purple and blue. There's that one. And even the big ones that are pink and purple and blue. I might keep all of those. I have that one. I've destashed some of these before. So maybe you already got some of these pages. Must be I put all the pink, purple, and blue together. These are some other big pages. Wow, maybe I will destash some of the pink, purple, and blue. I love this one. And these are Swedish or German. Debit, D-E-B-E-T. Credit is the same as ours. And Solhaben, I don't know what that means. I shouldn't have spent so long destashing. I wanted to show you my ledger collection. This got torn. Oops. This green paper was supposed to be easier on the eyes of an accountant. Spend a lot of hours looking at papers, and then the green was supposed to not be so harsh. I do have quite a lot of that pink and purple stuff. This one is pink and turquoise. I like that one too. So I'll be able to destash some of this. And we're back down to the large insurance company pages. Well, I hope, if you stuck with me, I hope it wasn't too boring, and I hope that you get to see all the variety of ledger pages that I have, and I'll be sharing some of them, and then you'll be excited to go to my shop and grab a bundle. When I get to it, I have to do the sorting first, and I promised that the next listings would be book covers. So I'm getting down to the end of stuff that I have set aside to list, so I'm doing pretty good with that. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.